So it's a great day for a ride. Summer's here, obviously. We are all getting a little warm. It's a great time to be on the bike. Little quick summary, I live in Irvine, which is in Orange County, not Florida, in California, the one they made a TV series out of, I believe, the OC. I think they made a TV series out of the other Orange County too, except it was called Cops. It's pretty popular, apparently. Anyway, cycling is my passion, along with food, obviously, and I like to get on my bike as often as I can. So I wanted to start sharing my rides and, you know, part of my beautiful city with you. Irvine's a very kind of a boring town. It's suburbia in the greatest sense of the word. It's not a place that has a lot of nightlife. It's a great place to raise your family. It was noted as the safest city in America, I believe, either in the top 5, but that presents a problem because you then become a target. And so we've had our fair share of crime lately. The town has pretty much everything you would want when it comes to cycling, really. There's cycling lanes everywhere. We've got a bike lane on almost every street. In fact, when you leave Irvine, you know you've kind of left it because the bike lanes disappear for the most part. So it's a very road bike friendly place. We've got a lot of mountain biking trails. If you want to do, Orange County in general has got everything. Beach cruiser, you can go on the beach, do your thing. There's lots of trails around here. I want to take you on some of them with me and just enjoy the ride and just, kind of share my passion of cycling with you. Going to go on a ride here shortly, take you with me, just kind of cruise around. There's a really cool thing I want to share with you called the Minipresso from Wacaco or Wacaco, I can't remember. Or actually, I looked it up. I don't know how the hell to pronounce that name, but it's really cool. I mean, when I'm out on my bike, I like to sometimes stop and have a coffee. You can go to a coffee shop and do that, or you can make it yourself. So if you stop at a wooded area like this, you can just kind of set up a little mini backpacking stove, heat up some water, bring some pre-ground coffee grounds with you, and have a little espresso in the middle of your ride. I think it's a great thing to do. So I'm going to share that with you in a bit. But for now, we're going to get back on the bike, cruise around, hook up my GoPro on the back of this thing, on the front of this thing, and go spinning. So let's do it. So this is a little trail that goes through a neighborhood just below Northwood High School. And it's got a paved road next to a dirt path. And when I run, I like to run it on both. And I like to ride it on both. The actual dirt path is pretty hard packed, so you could put a road bike on it if you wanted to. If you had a mountain bike, that'd be great. I have 3 bikes, so I have a fixed gear bike, which I'm riding today. I put brakes on it because, look, I'm 52 years old. I have a wife and 2 kids. I got a lot to lose if I get really badly hurt. And I guess if I was in my 20s or even a teenager, I wouldn't give a damn. I'd ride at fixed gear, no brakes, but I'm not a teenager. And I do have some sensibility about me. So I put brakes on it. I love the bike though. The wheels, really wide, deep rims like that. Single gear so I can tool around the neighborhood a bit. Run errands on my bike. Got a little bag on the front. Yes, I am a Fred. I stopped clipping in on my bike years ago and stopped wearing the funny clothes. There's nothing wrong with any of that. If that's what you want to do. But I'm beyond that. I just want to enjoy myself. So I ride around and I wear whatever I want. This is Portola, and this road, these are all strawberry fields. back here. They have developed the living hell out of Irvine. Like, we have so many houses, but there's still so much property left here that they plan on building houses on. So those strawberry fields you see back there, if you can see them, that used to be all over here. Like when I used to run this path, I could smell strawberries. Then they built a bunch of houses and those strawberries aren't there anymore. And that's a shame. Hey, just so you know, this isn't a commercial for Irvine. I'm not just gonna ride in Irvine. I ride everywhere. I just live in Irvine and I thought I'd start here and kind of go from there. And people stay fit here too. I like it. Everyone's running, walking their dog. I love saying hello to people who are running. They're so knackered, they've got nothing left, and you want to stop and chat them up. I always say this, look, if you're running and you're so out of breath you can't talk, or you're cycling and you're so out of breath you can't talk, I understand if you're on a hill, that's impossible. I mean, it's tough to talk. You're really winded. But generally, if you're exercising that much where you can't hold a conversation, you need to slow the hell down. I mean, I get it. You want to raise your heart rate, but and you want to kill yourself. That's your body's way of saying, hey, maybe we need to stop a little. Get a rest. Have some water. My wife thinks this is so dangerous. I'm riding one-handed. Got the brake. No problem. Just don't freak out, you know. That's when most accidents happen anyway. People freak out. They get nervous and they make a move they didn't need to make. Safety first, obviously. Helmet. I wear gloves just in case I do eat a little caca. When I hit the ground, my hands don't take a big mess. Your knees obviously are going to get screwed up if you land on them. I had a pretty good accident about 5 years ago. I was riding with a buddy of mine and we weren't even going very fast. We were coming out of a tunnel and we were going to turn left to go down a street. I think we were going like 1 mile an hour. He turned in front of me and I didn't see him turn. Caught my front wheel. I was clipped in and my bike fell so fast I didn't have a chance to clip out and landed face first on the pavement and cut a nice L-shaped scar over my right eye that just gushed blood. Cops came and helped us out, and my friend was pretty amazing that day, helped me through that. And a stranger actually gave me a lift to a hospital, and the police department took my bike back to my friend's house. You know what cracks me up? It's like a horse trail, right? I think I've seen 3 horses on that trail the entire time I've lived here. I don't know where anyone would raise a horse here. You've got to have a lot of property, and there just isn't that many places out here that have enough property to raise a horse. Dogs, yeah, tons of dogs. Great thing about a fixed gear bike is that you really can do pretty much everything on it. It's geared in a way, I mean, if you buy the right bike. I don't know too many that aren't geared this way, but it's geared in a way that you can speed on flats, you can descend, obviously, and you can also climb on it. Now, I wouldn't go climb an Alpe d'Huez on this thing, but you can climb, moderate hills with not too steep a grade without really screwing yourself up. But the one danger is if you do try too hard, you push too hard, and you sustain it for too long, you could do some knee damage. So you want to be careful with that. Doesn't matter what kind of bike you have out here. You could buy a bike from Target and you'd be fine. And many do. Now listen, despite what my wife might think, I don't run red lights. apparently people will ride horses here. So I'm just saying I don't see a lot of horses. Okay, taking a little break, I wanted to share with you this really cool machine. It's called the Minipresso. If you're on your bike ride, you like to have some coffee. You stop somewhere in the woods or a little quiet area, picnic table. In your backpack, bring a little burner, like a camping burner that fits in your backpack, a little can of fuel, and a pot that you can boil some water in, and pre-grind some coffee and bring that with you in a little Ziploc, in this Minipresso machine. And that's all you need to make an amazing espresso right in the middle of your bike ride. And I think that's pretty cool. So this thing's 60 bucks, and I put a link in the description down below. You can go check this thing out. It was a Kickstarter when it first started out, and then a couple years ago my wife bought it for me for Christmas, and I have used the hell out of it. Mine looks really beat up, but the way it works is everything's kind of screwed in together. You take this thing apart, and the bottom is the actual serving cup that you'll have your espresso from. Underneath that is a water vessel that you're going to pour your hot water in. On top, when you unscrew that, is the actual dispenser that the coffee's going to come from. Underneath that is the little coffee filter. This is where you're going to put your coffee. So you just take the beans that you've pre-ground, fill that up with a little scoop, tap it down a little bit, get all the extra grinds out of there, away from the rim, put that back in, screw the top back on, and when your water's ready, take it off the fire, pour the water into the water vessel, screw that back on, turn it upside down, and start pumping. 8 bars of pressure, and the crema that you get out of this thing is amazing for $60. They have another unit that actually uses actual pods, Cafe Italy, and I believe Nespresso pods. But I like to pre-grind coffee and bring it with me. And like I said, look at the crema on this thing, it's outstanding. For $60, and you can bring it with you. Again, I use this all the time. I use it at home a lot, but when I'm on a bike ride, I like to break and have a cup of coffee. There is nothing like being in the woods or in some just getaway place where you can stop and enjoy a cup of coffee. Even if you're just taking a lunch break and you do something like this on your lunch break, it's an amazing way to break up your day and kind of reset everything. So for me, espresso should have at least a little bit of crema on it. Now, not everybody thinks that. It's, as long as it's black and strong, you know, and about this big, that's an espresso. And that's fine too. But I like a little bit of crema. In my coffee, generally I like a little bit of cream and a tiny bit of sugar. But not everybody likes that either. And like I said, just like cycling, not everyone likes to do one type of cycling, and not everybody likes their kind of coffee. Whatever you like. But if you like this, it's a great way to do it. Again, link in the description, and if you want to check it out, go do that. Okay, I'm done. Thanks for watching. Minipresso machine. There's a link in the description if you want to check it out. $60, and the crema on it is amazing. Great way to have coffee outside on a bike ride, whatever, wherever. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.